It is Thursday, the 11th day of September 2025. Good evening and welcome to Newswatch on Hope TV, the station where you look and live. I'm Tess Njenga and our sign language interpreter is Boniface Murithi. Let's take a look at the day's events. Now, an autopsy on slain lawyer Matthew Kyalo Mbobu has confirmed he died from excessive bleeding and severe injuries after being shot 8 times. Government pathologist Dr. Johansen Oduor, who conducted the postmortem, revealed that 2 bullets were recovered from his body, 1 lodged in his spine. The shooting, believed to have been intentional and at close range, caused fatal wounds to the neck and spine, leading to massive internal bleeding. Mbobu was killed in a drive-by shooting on Tuesday, September 9th, while driving along Magadi Road near the Galleria Brookside area in Karen.
So we finished the postmortem of the late Wakili, and upon having examined the body, we found that Wakili was shot a total of 8 times, and with most of the gunshot coming from the right side of the body. We were able to recover 2 bullets, which are being given to the investigating officer for ballistic purposes. So he bled, there's a lot of bleeding because there was a injury to the neck vessels. There was also injury to the spine. So these injuries were severe enough to cause death.
Now, President William Ruto has today met with leaders from the Kisii region at State House, Nairobi, in a session also attended by ODM party leader Raila Odinga. Among the leaders present were Kisii Governor Simba Arati, Education Cabinet Secretary Julius Ogamba. Governor Arati, who was elected on an ODM ticket in the 2022 general election, pledged to work with the Kenya Kwanza administration. The move is widely seen as part of a broader strategy by both President Ruto and Raila to consolidate support in the Kisii region ahead of the 2027 general election. The head of state and the former prime minister have, however, emphasized that it is now time for development, not politics.
Mimi nilipokuwa waziri wa barabara, ujenzi na nyumba. Na wakati nilikuwa pale nilienda pale nikakuta kama tulikuwa kuna housing plan ambayo ilikuwa imeletwa 1966. That is what could establish the National Housing Corporation. Nikaona kama ile housing program ilikuwa imepitishwa na wakati. So mimi nika-introduce amendment to the housing. Kuenda Korea Kusini ukionyesha picha vile rural counties ilikuwa, nafikiri ni Kisii. Ukiona ile picha vile ilikuwa, watu wamerundikana namna hii, wamefinyana, hakuna nafasi hata mpaka kwa riparian land. Kama nchi ya Kisii ni milima mingi yake na iko mito kule chini, watu wameingia mpaka kule riparian land, wamejenga, wamefinyana. Sasa vile walipanga ujenzi pale, nyumba zitajengwa hadi hapa, alafu hapa tutajenga pale watu kufanya kazi, workshops pale watu wanafanya kazi. Pande nyingine soko pale ambayo bidhaa kitoka hapa inaelekwa kwa soko hapa. Pale nyingine shule pale ambapo watoto watapata elimu. Ingine hospitali, health center, pale watu watakwenda kama wagonjwa. Alafu ingine ni social amenities, pale ambapo wazee wakifanya kazi wanaweza kwenda kukaa kujiburudisha, mambo ya kienyeji yote inakuwa hapo. Hivyo sasa hiyo ndio inakuwa integrated, total integrated settlement. Hii ndio direction tunataka kwenda sasa.
I want to urge you. Siasa tutaongea siku yake ikifika. Kwani siasa tumeanza juzi jameni? Si tumekuwa tukianga siasa all these years? Si for once wacheni tuongee na kupanga mambo ya kubadilisha Kenya. Ama namna gani? Yes, for once let's have a different conversation. We cannot continue having a conversation year after year about politics. Sijui nani, sijui nini, sasa na nyinyi hata mkipima kweli kwa hawa watu wako hapo hiyo group, iko mtu hapo ako na agenda yoyote? Tumejaribu kuwauliza nyinyi, mtueleze what is your plan. They have no plan. One term, Kasongo, must go. Sasa what is the agenda you have?
First Lady Rachel Ruto has launched the second phase of a national campaign targeting what's being called the triple threat: HIV, teenage pregnancy, and gender-based violence, which continue to rise among young people across the country. The program will now roll out in 4 new counties, that is Samburu, West Pokot, Homa Bay, and Uasin Gishu. Led by the Organization of African First Ladies for Development, the initiative aims to strengthen healthcare systems and community outreach with a focus on youth. The First Lady raised alarm over a 19% spike in new HIV infections this year alone, calling it a serious reversal of progress.
This evening we gather as a coalition of like-minded partners bound by a shared vision, a Kenya where every adolescent is shielded from the triple threat: HIV, teenage pregnancy, and sexual and gender-based violence. The key driver of this initiative is the Organization of African First Ladies for Development, or AFLAD, an organization I'm honored to serve as a member of the steering committee.
And this initiative, I'm sure, is going to help reduce or even eliminate these 3 threats.
The triple threat in Homa Bay is a reality. We are the second after Narok in teenage pregnancies. We are among the leading in sexual and gender-based violence, according to the latest KDHS, the one for 2022. We are also among the highest in new HIV infections, which is among young people, as Dr. Luga said.
The challenge before us remains grave. The data I am about to share, derived from NASCOP reports, are not numbers on a page. They represent the lives, dreams, and futures of our sons and daughters hanging in the balance. Our HIV prevalence is escalating at an alarming rate. Today, over 1.3 million of our fellow Kenyans are living with HIV. That's 3% of our entire population. But what should trigger us into action is this. In 2024 alone, we recorded almost 20,000 new HIV infections, a staggering 19% increase from the previous year. This is a reversible of years of progress.
Now, across our borders, conservative U.S. activist Charlie Kirk has been shot dead in what authorities call a targeted attack at Utah Valley University. Investigators say a single round was fired from a rooftop, sparking a manhunt that is still underway. 2 men initially treated as suspects have since been cleared, though one faces a lesser charge of obstructing campus police. The assassination has drawn rare bipartisan condemnation, with President Donald Trump calling it a dark day for America while pledging a tougher crackdown on political violence. Kirk, a co-founder of Turning Point USA, was widely credited with energizing young conservatives and helping Trump reshape the GOP.
Charlie Kirk traveled the nation, joyfully engaging with everyone interested in good faith debate. His mission was to bring young people into the political process, which he did better than anybody ever. Today, because of this heinous act, Charlie's voice has become bigger and grander than ever before.
I want to be very clear that this is a political assassination. The investigation is ongoing. But I want to make it crystal clear right now, to whoever did this, we will find you. We will try you. And we will hold you accountable to the furthest extent of the law. And I just want to remind people that we still have the death penalty here in the state of Utah.
Well, on that note, let's take a short break on Newswatch tonight. We will be back with our day's feature. Stay tuned.
Hope TV is where you look and live, with an excellent selection of the best Christian programming consisting of local and international content of inspirational stories, talk shows, Bible commentary, youth, health shows, children entertainment, contemporary gospel music, extended times of worship, live broadcast, news, movies, drama, Christian ministry programs, and so much more. Hope TV is another quality service from Christ is the Answer Ministries, with over 45% of authentic and credible local content every week. Hope TV is a sister station to Hope FM, Kenya's leading Christian radio station, with footprints across the country. Tune in to Hope TV, where you look and live.
Hi, my name is Sharon Aitore Wangenya. Thank you so much for being one of our viewers. We truly honor you and appreciate you. We'd love to know how you're receiving us, how your reception is in terms of the quality of the video and the audio as well. So please scan this QR code and give us your feedback. Thank you and God bless you.
Wake up every morning to an exciting moment of worship. With a powerful inspiration from God's word.
Psalm 84 verse 4 says, "Blessed are those that abide, that dwell in the house of God." The blessing is on those that dwell, those that abide. They have made the house of God their abode.
The kingdom of God is already with us in the present time we are in, but it will also be fully realized at the end of the age. But the kingdom has been prepared by God.
On Hope Devotion every Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. Only on Hope TV, where you look and live.
Back now, last year in March, we brought you the story of a family in Kiawanda, Limuru constituency, Kiambu County, appealing to well-wishers to help their son join a rehabilitation school for the visually impaired. That son, 39-year-old Joseph Wainaina, lost his sight in 2010 after thugs shot him in an attack that changed his life forever. His desire was to join the Kenya Institute of the Blind, where he could learn how to live independently as a visually impaired person. But his dream seemed out of reach as his family could not afford the fees. A few months after his story aired, hope came alive. Through a counseling psychologist he had connected with on Hope FM's Praise Junction, Wainaina managed to raise part of the school fees while the government stepped in to clear the remaining balance. This year, our reporter Alice Diana visited Wainaina at the Kenya Institute for the Blind to check on his progress. She now brings us the following story.
Tulikuwa tukitoka Muroroko tukielekea Nanyuki, lakini kwa bahati mbaya hatukufika pale Kemo. Juu kuna mzee alikuwa ametuitia sapa hapo, lakini kwa bahati mbaya ajali tulipata pale Makeji, mahali kunaitwa Kafati. Hapo ndio tulipata ni kama wameweka mawe kubwa sana na miti mirefu sana katikati ya barabara. Hapo ile gari tulikuwa nayo juu ni roda haingeweza kuruka hapo. Sasa ile kitu ilifanyika, yule mwenye alikuwa akiendesha ilibidi aruke na akatoroka mahali hatukujua mahali ameenda. Huyo mwingine akaruka akaenda mbele. Sasa mimi nikaruka nikiwa wa mwisho nikarudi na nyuma. Si kujua ati hawa wakora wamejificha nyuma ya gari. Sasa hapo ndio nilisikia ni kama mguu imepotea. Sikuwa najua ati ni risasi wamenipiga. Na wakati nilisikia kitu kama hiyo, nikaona imenirusa katikati ya barabara. Nikajaribu vile nitatoka katikati ya barabara ili niende kando ya barabara. Na wakati nilifanya hivyo, hapo ndio sijua au wakora wengine walitoka wapi. Wakakuja wakaniwekelea kitochi kikubwa sana hapa kwa uso, kwa macho. Sasa singeweza kuona ni nani ako mbele yangu. Hapo wakaanza kuniuliza maswali ya kama umetoka wapi, unafanya na kampuni gani, ulikuwa unaelekea wapi, kwenu kusaliwa ni wapi, maswali kama hiyo. Kutoka hapo ni kama kuna kitu walikuwa wamekelea kando ya macho, lakini baada ya sekunde kama 2 hivi sikujihisi tena. Nilikuja kujihisi nikiwa na mwezi mmoja hospitali Thika level 4. Sasa kutoka hapo nikajipata hata macho sina.
15 years ago, Joseph Wainaina's world went dark literally. Then a young man full of dreams and working as a driver, his life changed in an instant after a brutal attack by thugs left him blind. His turning point came during Praise Junction, one of the shows on Hope FM. While tuned in, Wainaina had a counseling psychologist speaking about trauma. During the conversation, he was advised to seek rehabilitation, a decision that helped him adjust and begin living a fulfilling life as a visually impaired person. Wainaina was eager and excited to return to school, but his dreams seemed out of reach as his family could not afford the fees. After his story was highlighted on Hope TV, well-wishers stepped in, making it possible for him to join the Kenya Institute for the Blind in September 2024. Over a year ago, I sat with Wainaina at his home in Kiambu County to listen to his journey. Today, I meet him again, only this time not at home, but at the Kenya Institute for the Blind in Nairobi West, where he's pursuing his education and charting a new path forward. Joseph spent more than a decade in darkness, not only in sight but also in purpose. Yet, even in the darkness, hope, though wounded, was never lost. Today that hope shines again. Joseph Wainaina is no longer just surviving, he is learning, growing and reclaiming his independence, a living testimony that life after loss is still life worth living.
Hapa nilikuja last year September. Na kulingana na vile nimeendelea hapa, niko na mabadiliko kubwa sana juu yani mambo mengi ninajifanyia kutoka Nairobi mpaka nyumbani, wanajipeleka peke yangu. na hapo mbeleni ni mambo singeweza. Kama ni kujifuria nguo najifuria vizuri sana, kama ni kutumia vitu kama simu hapa natumia vizuri, hata naingia mpaka online. Hata watu wengi huwa tunaongea nao kupitia WhatsApp. Computer at least niko na idea. Yani kuna mabadiliko makubwa, mambo mengi sana imebadilika kwa maisha yangu. Ni kama nilikuwa kwa giza, saa hizi niko kwa mwangaza. Tumekutana na watu wa aina mingi sana, wengine wako total blindness, wengine wako short sighted. Sasa wale wako short sighted wao ndio huwa wanatusaidia mahali ambao ni pagumu sana kupita.
His teachers describe his transformation as nothing short of inspiring. From a man who once thought his future had slipped away, Joseph is now a student full of determination.
Yeah, thank you. When I was my student, indeed, I think I'm one of his teachers. When Anna has improved quite a bit since the time he walked in. Most of our clients, when they walk in, they're still looking for pity, and they're looking for pity parties and wanting to be sympathized with. But indeed, here we empathize. And when Anna has reasonably improved, in his own words, he tells me he had never touched a computer before, but right now he's able to at least type. He didn't know how to use a smartphone, and right now he has a phone, he can call, and he's quite ambitious to do things. Because at the Institute what we do is we run this program, we don't call it rehab, we call it educational rehabilitation, whereby when a person loses sight, we skill the person in the area of reading and writing, as we also counsel them, as we also make them accept and adapt to where they find themselves.
Yeah, Wanina has been my classmate. He was amongst the people who showed me the mobility of this school, because he was an old student of this school before he joined. So he was amongst the people who showed me the way in this institution, and we have been learning together. I've been helping him in Braille and also ICT, and we have been good friends.
But Joseph's journey does not end here. His teachers believe he is ready for the next step, professional training at the Machakos Technical Institute for the Blind, where he hopes to specialize as a masseur. It is a skill that could open the door to financial independence and restore dignity through meaningful work. Yet, once again, finances stand in the way. The fees for his next course are beyond his family's means, and his dream yet again hangs in the balance, waiting for another spark of hope to carry him forward.
Yeah, so when I did mention, we only offer reading, writing skills, mobility skills here, and a lot of the time we do not give the students a skill, like a life skill for them, like to fend for themselves. So we are strongly recommending that Wainaina could do better with his life if he went to a place like Machakos Technical Institute for the Blind, where he could try a skill in masseur, that is, just the massaging process, whereby now he can be able to look for a job or have a skill and employability skill to help him like get some kind of a job, and that could then give him some income, and he can be independent to just like the rest of us here.
So saying the institution has recommended that he can be able to take the massage or therapy. So that's what he's supposed to go to do now in Machakos. But still, as the challenge has been, it's all on us somehow. So we are really trusting that he would be able to get support to be able to do that. But I know the support will come because we are this far It's been almost 8 months later, and we are grateful to God.
To support Wainaina's journey to Machakos Technical Institute, kindly send your contribution or get in touch via 0728 26 4891. 0728 26 4891.
Despite his condition, Wainaina's story is of resilience, hope, and the unbreakable human spirit. Alice Diana at the Kenya Institute for the Blind in Nairobi West area, Nairobi County.
Now in business, Agriculture and Livestock Development Cabinet Secretary Mutahi Kagwe has concluded a successful U.S. agriculture and trade mission that opened new doors for Kenya's agricultural exports, financing and large-scale investment partnerships. At the heart of the visit was a high-level engagement with the United States Africa Trade Desk. CEO Gavin Van Der, the CS secured a commitment for Kenyan agricultural products to enter more U.S. retail markets, ensuring visibility on store shelves and stronger demand for Kenyan produce. Importantly, USATD pledged financing support for Kenyan exporters, enabling them to sustain the large export volumes required by expanded retail distribution. Kagwe emphasized that this financial backing is vital to stabilize supply chains and empower exporters to scale.
You spoke about some intervention as regards American companies exporting because of the pricing mechanism. There is a tendency for imports to be more expensive from here. And when the idea is to bring down the price of feeds, that's why you're importing in the first place, then it doesn't make any sense then to buy very expensive feeds, which then cancels out whatever you are to get. That's a key, it's a key consideration, and I think something that needs to be done.
Are we compliant in terms of the packaging laws and regulations for a product that is going into California? Is it FDA compliant? What is the ingredients? The size of the lettering on the packaging, is it the right size? To ensure that there is no rejection or anything along that line of the product when it arrives.
The Kenyan farmer for a long time has been having a price problem. And the price problem is because there are too many people between the eventual landing, the last mile and the first mile and the last mile, so to speak. There are too many people.
We refer to that as the daisy chain.
That's the one.
Long daisy chain.
That's the one. That's the one. So for us, there are several ways that we have been discussing and debating how to deal with this challenge. One of them is the online selling platform, all right, where we were supposed to launch it, as a matter of fact, this week here in the US, where we opened the purchase and the selling of coffee online.
Okay.
So that a roaster here in the United States can be able to buy directly his coffee from the best coffee that he has himself invested in and probably grown with the farmers. The same way we have extension services.
So it's an online bulk.
Online bulk.
NCBA has unveiled enhanced public service vehicle, that is PSV, asset finance terms, reaffirming its commitment to supporting Kenya's vibrant transport sector. The new package is tailored to empower PSV SACCOs established transport companies and individual SACCO members with competitive, inclusive and flexible financing solutions. Under the revised terms, PSV operators and established transport companies can now access up to 90% financing for repayment periods of up to 60 months, while individual SACCO members can access up to 80% financing with repayment periods of up to 48 months. Inaanzia for the UK.
So today we've launched our Commit solution, which is a solution that drives or enables the PSV operators, the Matatu SACCOs, to improve their collection process. And what do I mean by that? They are able to have an app that enables them to track collections that are coming from their passengers. They're able to have full visibility. They're able to have control. It is a secure app. And most importantly, they're able to handle reconciliation.
Be member to more than 5 years. Yeah, so utapata like even those who want to invest kwa matatu, ukinunua gari yako, utalipa vizuri pole pole, and then kazi itafanyika. And then now with the commute now, utapata like pesa umepata, pesa yako umepata, job imekuwa. Kisirani yote yenye inakuanga kwa matatu, even corruption, unasema hizi mapolisi wanachukua pesa. Hiyo maneno yote tu imeletwa na kuokota do cash.
And so what we have done is we have structured the offering into 3 specific categories. The first category is for individual owners, you and me, if you want to buy a public service vehicle. And we have adjusted the amount of financing from 70% to 80%, and the customers will now contribute 20%. We have also adjusted the repayment period from a repayment period of 3 years to a repayment period of 4 years. We have then moved on to the second category, which is for PSV companies. And the companies themselves, we have adjusted the financing amounts from 80% financing to 90% financing, and we have adjusted the repayment period from 4 years to 5 years.
The UK government-funded Manufacturing Africa program hosted an investment forum Wednesday, bringing together top manufacturing companies from Ethiopia, Kenya, Rwanda and Tanzania. The event connected industry leaders with potential investors, including British International Investment, and focused on boosting foreign direct investment into African manufacturing. Key discussions included policy support, public-private partnerships and challenges like infrastructure, financing and trade. So far, the program has supported over 230 companies and helped mobilize $2.4 billion in investment, with commitments to create around 120,000 jobs across the region.
The UK and Kenya refreshed their strategic partnership in July this year when President Ruto was visiting London. Supporting mutual green growth and trade is one of the key pillars of the strategic partnership. We're focused on manufacturing because developing a strong manufacturing sector is an important part of growing any resilient economy and creating jobs. And as we all know, there's a large number of young people hitting the Kenyan job market every year in the manufacturing sector.
As you know that this past financial bill, now Act, we put in a raft of incentives for regional headquarters and for holding companies. 15% for the first 10 years, 20% for the subsequent 10 years. So that gives any investor, both local and foreign, a 20-year tax holiday. And this past financial year, it was the first time whereby we were able to put in a raft of incentives for startups, which is the same thing, 15% and 20%. But we don't want to be just a tax place. We also want to create an enabling environment for investors.
As Kenya, we are attractive because we have a good ecosystem, we have good manpower, we have good agreements that have been signed with everybody at the country, and we make a conducive environment for it. To unlock more investments here, I think we are our own enemies today, and I say this openly. Our Parliament, our lawmakers are our own enemies, because we're now passing laws and regulations that tax every single thing in a bigger way. So we are actually attacking payrolls of people. We're actually making the payrolls smaller. So in effect, we probably have to raise all our salaries by 20%. Otherwise, we want to stay in the same place, number one. Number two, there's levies and taxes and excise duties that are being charged now on goods that are locally manufactured in Kenya. And therefore, we can't even export those products, right? So our export markets are also eroding, because now it's cheaper to bring in product from Egypt. And you can see a lot of multinationals are packing up in Kenya and moving on and going to other countries, because Egypt has become a very attractive position.
Now in sports, the 2025 NCBA Golf Series is set to continue this Saturday, September 13th, ahead of a busy golfing weekend that will also have the Kenya Amateur Golf Championship Series and the US Kids Golf take place. The NCBA Golf Series, now in its 5th year, will be held at the Par 72 Royal Nairobi Golf Club, where over 300 golfers have signed up to battle for slots to the coveted grand finale, scheduled to be held at Muthaiga Golf Club on November 28, 2025. Golfers will battle for top honors in multiple categories. Stage is set for a thrilling climax to the 2025 National Sevens Circuit this weekend at Kisumu, as Kisumu hosts the much-anticipated Dala Sevens at the Jomo Kenyatta International Stadium, Mamboleo, from September 13th to the 14th. Speaking on the preparations, Kisumu RFC chairman Gabriel Ouma expressed confidence in delivering a memorable experience both on and off the pitch. As it stands, KCB Rugby lead the circuit with 104 points and require only a semi-final berth to secure the championship, while Strathmore Leos has 95 points and will be banking on a perfect run at Dala to keep their hopes alive. It's a wrap on Newswatch tonight. On behalf of the whole team, thank you for watching. I'm Tess Njenga, and our sign language interpreter is Boniface Murithi. God willing, see you tomorrow night at 9 p.m. for the day's news. For now, have a good night.